What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your boy StephenMotivate. Coming back to you again with another tip on our 52 Turo tips. We're super excited about letting people know about the car sharing business. I've been doing it for 3 years now, so I sort of take it for granted, like, oh, everyone knows about Turo. But in actuality, everyone probably doesn't. So I want to help you understand some tips on how to run a successful Turo business. And hopefully this helps you maximize or optimize the Turo platform and using it really to give yourself some experience in the entrepreneurship world. I mean, there are people that are doing amazing things on Turo. So depending on what area you're in, part of the country you're a part of, depending on what's available, depending on how you set up your listing, you could really do well on Turo. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You can do well. I just want to give you tips to help you maximize that. I believe I'm on tip number 16. This is another one of those straightforward tips. You've got to have a body shop guy or gal. You got to have a body shop guy. It's super duper 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 important. I hate to break the news to you, but you're going to have cars get in accidents. You're going to have cars that will get into accidents where bumpers will be damaged, doors will be damaged, maybe even sometimes your car will be completely totaled, which I know that sounds like a nightmare, and it is. It is in some cases. In some cases, it's not. You just get rid of the car and go get another one. Having a body shop guy is a super important play. It's super important to you understanding that just like with maintenance, body repair is something that typically there's a large markup on it, a large markup. I mean, I've had things quoted from my body shop guy that could be fixed for $2,500 that the big names have quoted me $22,000 on. So you're talking about 10 times markup in some cases. Now, yes, there's reasons for that. Sometimes the big name folks they either have to or they prefer to only use new parts or OEM parts, whereas body shop guys, that you might meet in the neighborhood may be able to go and get used parts or go to, the local junkyard. And it doesn't mean that everything there is actually junk. It just means that there's tons of parts and pieces that could be repurposed. And so there's a reason for that difference. There's a reason for that, vast range between very inexpensive to super expensive. But you're running a business. Remember that. And so from the business aspect, you've got to figure out how to get things at the most inexpensive price that you can get them at. And having a body shop guy is super important in order to do that. How do you find body shop guys? Like I've told you before, Facebook is probably a good place. Hey, does anybody know folks that could fix this? You don't even have to have a car. Just find a picture of something that's wrecked online. Post that picture on your Facebook and say, hey, does anybody know a body shop guy? Just so you can get some referrals and you can have a Rolodex of people that are potentially body shop folks for you in the future if you ever run into this situation. Car dealers, especially those car dealers that are, what would I call them? Lower, used car dealerships, maybe for cars that don't cost that much. If you don't know this, a lot of car dealers will buy their cars from auctions. The car would have come, for all types of reasons to an auction. And once it's at an auction, then the car dealer can get it. And let's say if it's got some mechanical problems, they can fix those. Or let's say it's got some body damage, they can go uh, find their body shop guy and get stuff fixed. So typically, like if you remember tip number, I think it was 14, if you've got your mechanic guy or your maintenance guy for your car, then they likely know a body shop guy. And it's equally as important to have a body shop guy as well as a maintenance guy. And the interesting thing with this is that you can actually be in position to not only get things for cheaper, but you could actually save yourself a ton of money, because if you were to get in an accident, there is Turo's going to use its own online the quickest, most efficient process as possible to determine what it's going to cost to get that car fixed. And so if you can get it fixed for cheaper than what they say it can be fixed for, they'll typically send you the payment to get the car fixed. And then you're responsible for fixing it and getting it fixed. And you could actually pay your body shop guy a cheaper rate. And you guessed it, make some money on the spread. So you got to be careful with that. You don't want to be doing anything that's shady or illegal. You don't want to be, making up damage and trying to, do shady, illegal stuff. That never leads to a good place. But if you're within your rights and, they say it's going to cost this and you're able to get it done for half that price, then there's nothing wrong with that. You're able to do that. You still have to go get it approved to make sure it meets a Turo inspection, and so they'll do their due diligence to make sure that you're actually putting a car back on the platform that's in good working order and looks right. You've got to show the pictures and all that. But if you do that, then hey, there is that it's your prerogative, and it's not a bad thing. It's actually just being a good business person. So definitely, if you're running a Turo business and you don't have a body shop guy, don't wait until you're in a situation. Don't wait until the accident has happened and the car's, looks like it might be totaled or you wish it was totaled. And don't wait. Find a body shop guy early, ahead of time. And then when your car gets into situations, you could immediately reach out to them and get estimates and get a feel for what stuff would cost. Ballpark. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but like I told you before, 10x the price is worth doing the research, right? Don't pay 10 times more just because, the dealership or the Caliber Collision or the famous, the well-known branded collision centers say that you should. Will they possibly do a better job for 10 times more? Yeah, I'm sure they will. But remember, the purpose of a car is to get from point A to point B. So you may not need for the car to have the newest, straight new replacement part off the line. You may be able to use a refurbished part or a part that, was from another car that, maybe stopped working, but nothing was wrong with that piece, or a piece that can be. So there's all types of reasons. I mean, this all sounds like simple stuff, but if you fail to do it, that's a sign that you're not managing your business well. If you don't take the time and effort to try to get the lowest price, to try to buy or get repairs done at the best price possible, then it's just simply mismanagement. So it's not a problem with the platform. It's not a problem with the car. It's a problem with the managing of the business. And these tips are to help improve your ability to manage your Turo business, your hosting experience better. And, if you're like me, I didn't have a body shop guy at first. I'm trying to think of the first accident I was in. The first accident that happened on one of my cars, I think it was a Porsche, and the Porsche Boxster, the underbody got scraped up. It was a wedding. A couple was, got the car for their wedding, and I guess they pulled out of the driveway and scraped up the underbody because they weren't used to driving a car that was that low to the ground and all that sort of stuff. So they didn't really know what to expect. They didn't realize that going up into a driveway that's super elevated could cause damage. Well, it did. In that scenario, I didn't have a body shop guy. And so the time passed so quickly that I just let it go. I just let them get away without paying for it, because I wasn't prepared for what to do. But then soon after that, I had another situation where a car got damaged, and I said, I have to find a body shop guy. I'm starting to see a pattern here. And so I ended up talking to my barber, which I've told you guys before is a great resource for finding people in the community, finding who does what cheaper than the retail prices. And he said, hey, a guy just came in here and got his hair cut who was getting his whole car repainted or redone, and let me call him and figure out who he's using. He called him a couple of days later, let me know. I went down there, and that was the first time I had a body shop guy. And ever since then, I don't use that guy anymore because he sort of stopped doing that type of work. But since then, I've always found, either by happenstance or by research, I found someone who could do repairs to the exterior of the body of my vehicles, and it's proved immeasurably more beneficial than the cost or time it took to research it. So there's times where I've used the big body shops as well. Sometimes when the damage is so extensive, and it's not going to be totaled out, or the car is super new and you want it. We had a car that was wrecked and it was hit by a deer. It was like on its second trip. It was a 2023, and it was just one of those scenarios. And so in those cases, I went ahead and went to the certified, whatever the manufacturer of that car was, the certified collision repair specialist for that car, because in those cases it was, the car, I don't even think it had 10,000 miles on it, so it was the value was still there, and that's something I'll talk about later. But the more miles you have on a car, essentially the value is going to decrease. And so if you get in an accident, then the math isn't going to math that well if you're in an accident when that happens. So, the thing of it is that you need a body shop guy, bottom line. And getting into accidents, I'll talk about that more because that is an experience. It's not fun. It is stressful to a degree if you've never been through it. And it can happen on the platform. In fact, if you've got more than 3 or 4 vehicles, it probably will happen at some point. Somebody will damage your vehicle or get in an accident. And we always pray that they're safe and that everything, because you're still dealing with people, right? And you don't want to be so focused on your business that you forget the fact that you don't want anyone to get hurt. You want people to be safe. And there's ways to inform people. And, we try to do our best to give people as much information as possible. But when all that's okay, you definitely want to have a body shop person to help you navigate that experience and likely save you hundreds, if not thousands upon thousands of dollars. All right, that's my tip for you today. Look, I hope that helped you. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe below, leave your comments, leave your feedback. We're building a community here of people that are on the journey of entrepreneurship, and we'd love for you to be a part of it, and we'd love to get your comments and feedback on it. As always, this is your boy, StephenMotivate. Stay motivated. Peace.